Okay, so now it would be useful for you to look at some exam questions using sine and cosine rule and area using the sine half AB sine C. Got 6 questions, so for each question, have a go first, put me on pause and unpause when you're done. I will put the formulas in the corner. Work out the area of triangle ABC. So, area of a triangle half AB sine C. This is C already and it needs to be C because of that C there. So, little a, little b. Half times A times B times sine C is 18.2 to 3 significant figures. B, work out the length AB. Have we got 2 pairs of opposites? We have 1. We do not have any more. So it must be cosine. And I know it is because we've got the angle sandwiched between 2 lengths. I'm going to change my lettering though. In fact, I'll just draw the triangle out again. 60, 6 and 7. So for your cosine rule, the angle has to be big A. Your B and C do not matter. So that's my x. X squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cos A. Just type that straight into your calculator. 43. Square root both sides to 3 significant figures, 6.56. Ooh, right, don't have a triangle this time. Diagram shows a parallelogram. Work out the area of the parallelogram. Well, I've just noticed if I split it here, I have 2 triangles, 2 identical triangles as well. They have the same area. So let me get the area of this one using my area of a triangle. So that's got to be big A. No, it's not. It's going to be big C because I'm working out using that not cosine rule. So big C, A, B. So half times 9.3 times 14.7 times sine 106. £65.7. Need to times that by 2 to get the area of the whole parallelogram, which is 131 to 3 significant figures. Okay. Work out the length AD. Now I've got opposite, one by itself. So it's not sine rule, but I can't use cosine rule because that angle's not sandwiched there. So I need to work out the length BD first, which I'm just going to call that Y. Okay, so I've got opposites here. I've got opposites here. Big B, little b, big C, little c. I've not really looked at this, but you just use that part of your formula. So 12.5 over sine 109 is equal to Y over sine 34. I need to get Y by itself, so I'm going to multiply both sides by sine 34. gives an answer of 7.39. Okay, so now we just look at our diagram. Well, we don't have opposites. We've got an angle and a length here. But we've got two lengths sandwiching a angle. So we know it's cosine rule. I'm just going to draw my triangle out here though. Not the best triangle, but 86 degrees, 11.4, 7.39. So when you're using your cosine rule, that has to be big A. B and C do not matter. So A squared is B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times cos A. (172.8). Square root both sides. 13.1 to three significant figures. Okay, so what have we got here? We're working out the length BC. Again, in my triangle BDC, I can tell already I don't have enough information. So can I get this shared length BD here? Okay, well, okay, let's just draw out this triangle. That's my ABD, but I'm just going to probably label it differently. So I'm going to work out this length. Right, do I have pairs? Yeah, I do. So let's use sine rule. So little a, big B, little b. So x over sine 45, a over sine A is equal to b over sine B. Okay, I want to make x a subject. I'm going to times both sides by sine 45. Gives us x is 5.3133. Oh, hang on, I've called that x. I'm going to have to call that y. So this green length here is 5.3. Okay, so let me just draw out the triangle. Got y, we've got 5.3, got 5.8. Still don't have enough information. I could do with an angle. Could do with this angle here, really. Now, angles on a triangle add up to 180, right? This angle here must be 100. And then I have enough information because I've got two lengths sandwiching an angle. So it's cosine rule. Big A, little a, B, C. So y squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2 times b times c times cos A. And just fit it in there. So y squared is equal to, type that into your calculator. I'm going to use 5.3133 when I type it in my calculator though. I'll get a more accurate answer. Square root both sides to three significant figures, 8.52. Okay, two more questions to look at. So we've got two triangles here. Area of triangle ADC is 56 centimetres squared. Work out the length AB. So for this top triangle, I don't have enough information. I've got a pair and an angle. It's just not enough to find my missing length. But why are we given this area of a triangle? Well, let's get it to work out a missing length. Now, area of a triangle formula. Right, let's just take out this triangle, shall we? That's 11, that's 105. When we're using the area of a triangle formula, this has to be big C here. A and B don't matter. Right, so we can say half times A times B times sine 105 is equal to 56. Half of 11 is 5.5. So we can say 5.5 times B times sine 105 is equal to 56. I'm going to divide both sides by 5.5. Which gives us B times sine 105 is equal to, I'm just going to leave it as a fraction, I think. It's 10.18 recurring. Now, how do I get rid of this sine 105? I divide both sides by sine 105. So B is equal to 56 over 55 divided by sine 105. B is equal to 10.54. Right, now I know this. Can you see I've got an angle sandwiched between two lengths? With these triangles that are joined, it's useful if you get a shared length. Can we get that shared length? Yes, we can, using the cosine rule. You've got a two lengths sandwiched in an angle. Right, I'm going to change my labelling again though. Because for the cosine rule, this has to be big A. We call it Y. B and C don't matter. I do not know why I put these squares here. We do not need those. Hopefully you spotted that. It's 2 times B times C. Square root both sides. Y is 17.09. Okay, so we have this length here. And I'll just draw out this top triangle. So we have 118 degrees. We have 48 degrees. I'll leave that as big B. Little b, we have 17.0911. So if I call that, well, that's big C. This is little c. We have pairs, opposites, opposite, two opposite pairs. So it's sine rule. And we're going to use this part of our sine rule. So little b over sine big B is little c over sine big C. Times both sides by sine 48. Gives us x is 14.4 to 1 decimal place. Okay, last exam question. Seem to need a lot of space for these questions. Let me minimize that a bit. ABC is a triangle. D is a point D. D is a point on AB. Work out the area of triangle BCD. So I need this length definitely, don't I? I hopefully can get that length too. So let's get our shared length first. So that's fairly straightforward. So we've got 80, 4.9, 3.8. We don't have, we've got one opposite pair. We don't have two. Cosine rule. So big A, little a, B, C. Okay, take that into your calculator. Square root both sides. 5.655. Okay, so I have my 5.655. That's more like a 3, that. Let me change it to a 5. I want to get this length, but I can't really see any way of getting that at the moment. So I'm thinking if I had some more information in my CDB, if I could find out that angle, which can't find at the moment, but let's get this angle first here. So let me just change the colour up. I want to find this angle here, which would be big B. So I've got opposites here, opposites there, so I could use sine rule. And don't forget, for missing angle for sine rule, you've got to flip your formula. So sine B over 4.9 equals sine A. I'm using this but flipped over, just work that one out, 5.655. So you need to make sine B the subject first. So let's times both sides by 4.9. Okay, now let's sine to the -1. B is equal to 58.575. So remembering I've got this B that I've relabeled, which is actually this angle here. So that's 58.575. To get this red angle here, I need to take it off 180, which is 121.425. Okay, now let's take out my triangle BCD. So I need to get this length here. So do I have opposites? Well, I don't. Can't use cosine rule either. But we know, don't we, that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So if I work out this angle here, I then have a pair of opposites, and this what length is opposite that angle, so I've got two pairs. Right, so let's get this angle then. Angles in a triangle add up to 180. 180 minus 25 minus 121.425. Okay, so now we can work out what x is by using the sine rule for missing length. Big A, big B, little b. So x over sine 121.425 is equal to little b over sine big B. Times both sides by sine 121. I'll type the whole thing in my calculator. I'm just writing sine 121 here. Gives us x is 8.725. Goes on forever. Okay, so now we have enough information to do a half AB sine C. Because if you see, we've got this angle sandwiched between those two lengths. Oh, great, that happens to be big C as well. So let's call this A and B. So half times 5.655 times 8.725 times sine 25 will give our area. Which is 10.423 significant figures.